England women's captain Millie Bright's wages are significantly lower than Harry Kane's. England men's captain Harry Kane earns over 60 times more a year than England women's skipper Millie Bright after his move to Bayern Munich. Kane recently swapped Tottenham for the Bundesliga champions and doubled his annual salary in the process. Kane had been one of the highest-paid players in the Premier League on £200,000 a week. Spurs were willing to pay him a £400,000 weekly wage to keep him at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But the 30-year-old centre-forward instead ditched the North Londoners and in Germany now earns £21.5 million per season. That equates to around £400,000 each week, which makes him by far the best-paid player in his new country. Yet though she will captain England in a World Cup final, a feat Kane hasn't managed yet, Bright's wages pale by comparison. The defender plays for Chelsea in the Women's Super League and is thought to earn around £35,000 a year. That is over £365,000 less than Kane earns every 7 days. Across a year, Kane earns 60 times more than Bright. But the 29-year-old Women's Euros winner can swell her finances greatly if she wins the Women's World Cup this weekend. If the Lionesses defeat Spain at Stadium Australia, the 23-player squad will earn £217,000 each in prize money. This year's tournament has a prize pool of £88.5 million, which is up from £24 million at the last World Cup in France in 2019. But still the quest for equal pay in men's and women's football continues. And the huge disparity is evidenced by the difference in Kane's pay and Bright's. The £88 million prize pool at the Women's World Cup is also well short of the £344 million shared at the Men's World Cup back in winter. The United Nations Agency for Women's Rights have meanwhile called for FIFA to bring in prize money by the time of its next international women's tournament in 2027. UN Women's Sports lead Jennifer Cooper said to Sky News, "We'll be holding them to account to make sure that happens along with the Players' Union, FIFPro. They're really holding their feet to the fire. Players are not earning enough to support themselves and their families from the sport that they play. So this has to change. It's a little bit slower than what we see at the level of this top prize money. But at the same time, I see that the accelerated pace of change is very encouraging. It comes after England forward Bethany England said last week, the more the game grows and becomes a bigger, wider spread for the female game, we deserve to be paid at least a reasonable amount for that. I don't think it's unacceptable to be asking for such a thing." While Lionesses skipper Bright said of making the final in Sydney, "We've wanted this for so long. We had an amazing success last summer but we knew that there was something missing and it's always been the World Cup. Now to have that opportunity is incredible. Like I said before, the dream remains alive. What an incredible semifinal. I've said it a million times but the mentality of this group is something I've never seen before. I think that comes from Serena as well. The belief that she gives us within ourselves but also that she gives us. We can play in many different ways. I think that is the beauty of this squad. Whatever an opponent throws at us, we adapt. We find a way to win. Just really proud of the girls."